Good evening all. I thought I'd do a quick vlog post on klout. It's a hot topic right now and I've had people ask me what it is. So this is Rebecca's opinion on what klout is. Um, klout.com. I think it's a site, it's probably been there for a couple of years, but it's really become popular in the last few months. It uses some kind of analytical equations or something, something smart, which I don't understand. But to see your social media influence, mostly right now it uses Twitter and Facebook, and it gives you a score 0 to 100. And it was recently mentioned in a New York Times article last week, which has really kind of brought it up even more in popularity. It says the average klout users in the teens, and then people could be like 40, 50, which is good. Mine is currently 65, which is a pretty decent score. I mean, it can go higher. Like the biggest one is Lady Gaga, which we know she's the leader in social media on Twitter too. I think hers is in the 80s, and it's probably almost impossible to get in the 90s to 100. So, what's it all about? Why do we need to know about it? Well, in the New York Times article, it mentions that employers are actually looking at your klout score for hiring purposes. And certain employers are even giving people with high klout scores perks. I think this will be quite important for marketers in future. And I think as bloggers already know, the higher your page rank with Google, the higher your traffic, the more times you get PR people and marketing people contacting you to mention products and to go to events because of your influence. So this is just another tool of measuring influence, and I think you may see, if your score is quite decent, people approaching you because of that, because you can influence the people who follow you on Twitter. What do you mean by influence? They may retweet what you post, they may actually read what you post, you have good interactions with them. There are drawbacks. I think it's kind of scary that people are being scored in this way because we all use social media for different things. And I don't really know if it would be applicable for an employment perspective. Unless you're working in marketing and social media, why would that be a factor for employment if you're going to work, I don't know, in a veterinary office, which doesn't use social media? That doesn't seem to make sense to me. And also, really, when you have influence, I think it's more having real, meaningful conversations with real people. And I think if you feel happy and you're happy with your blog and you're having great friendships on Twitter, I won't really worry about it. I would continue being you, be real, have fun with it, share interesting things, and if naturally you've got a knack for that and having fun with it and your score becomes good, that's just like an added bonus. But I certainly wouldn't see it as something to becoming obsessed with. We're having a conversation on Twitter tonight with some bloggers. It can be like statistics. You know, how many page views are you getting? How many unique visitors are you getting? It wouldn't be something I'd be really worrying about or putting too much emphasis on. But having said that, it's good to know about these things. It's good to know what your score is. And if social media is something you're interested in improving your skills in, one cool thing about it is if you just register on the site, it has all these graphs which tells you, how you perform in different areas and who influences you and who do you influence. I think it's a great analytical tool to improve your skills on social media, and you can see, if you kind of the way you interact and the articles you share over time, it will show you if that's valuable to people and if the approach you're taking is working, as your score will adjust. An interesting thing now is they say you can give people a plus klout score. So if you like somebody and know somebody influencing you, you can boost up their klout score by kind of recommending them. I think this is kind of cool, kind of like that buzz feature on Food Buzz, but I don't know, maybe that could be fiddled. Maybe they could be getting all these friends to give them all these pluses. I personally would just prefer it being a mathematical equation and not have that popularity come on, improve my score kind of thing going on. As I say, that's what klout is. That's my understanding of it. It's almost like your credit score for social media. I definitely think social media is hot right now, and it will continue to be hot. It's a fantastic tool to reach people around the world, make new friends, possibly lead to employment. I think it's just a lot of fun, basically. But it's really good to know what these things are, so you're aware of them. And if it's something you want to work on from a business perspective, or improving your connections, it's a good tool to measure that. But something I wouldn't worry too much about, because I think you all have klout as your own individual, and you're all important. That's the key. There's mine, Rebecca's thoughts. What are your thoughts on it all?